What I've done is I've aggregated quite a few different news sources onto a newsletter called Fire News. It's a web-based newsletter that's available on our public internet site for all of the fire service, that's fire departments and our stakeholders. And what I've done is I've pulled in information that I get from traditional news sources like the Globe and Mail, the Toronto Star, National Post, our major papers across Canada, the Ontario dailies. Of course, as the Ontario Fire Marshal, we're interested in the small communities in Ontario and the news that happens there. So I aggregate all that information and I put it together through Fire News. I also track fire research that's been done through the likes of National Research Council, the National Fire Prevention Association. Those research reports help in making our province safe and helping our engineers aggregate information. And I also put on that site information from conferences and events that keep the fire service up to date as to what's happening from around the province. But to pull all that information together, I mean, I would be spending hours, if not days, trolling different sites to pull it in. So what I do is I use RSS feeds, and I subscribe to numerous sites for their news-based contents, and I set up alerts. I have about 250 keywords that I track, and I categorize that into information such as fire departments or marijuana grow-ops or hazardous response. So that's a way to kind of filter all that information and get the top sites. Sometimes you'll find you'll get multiple stories on the same topic, so I'll be picking the best one in terms of content or who that particular journalist is. And if something happens in North Bay, I won't be picking up the Brantford feed on that. I'll go to North Bay for that information. So it's a good way to stay real time, and that's what we want. We don't want yesterday's news, we want today's news. But one thing that you really have to be cautioned on is who is the actual writer of that blog or that Twitter. What authority do they have? What is their background? What's their expertise? What organization are they representing? So you want to take all that information in when you're looking to validate that information. Especially with Twitter, it's what I would call unfiltered news. It's groundbreaking, but you want to be looking at who is sending out that content. Is it the CBC sending out a quick Twitter feed letting you know on an update, or is it someone who's just happened to be passing by that's twittering that?